Good morning, students. Today we are going to start chapter 3 Pronouns. So, before I begin with pronouns, let me just make you revise what are nouns. Noun is the name of a person, place, animal, thing, or any idea. So, pronouns are those words which are used in place of a noun in a sentence. Let's have a look at the definition given over here. A word that replaces or which are used in place of a noun in a sentence is known as pronouns. Now, why do we use pronouns? Pronouns are basically used to avoid repetition. So, instead of repeating the nouns in a sentence, we use pronouns. Okay, so now let's have a look at the example. Maria loves Saturday. It is the day she gets her pocket money. So now here, look here, that instead of repeating the noun Maria again, we have used the pronoun she in place of Maria, and instead of repeating the noun Saturday, we have used the pronoun it in place of it. So basically, pronouns avoid repetition in a sentence. Now let's have a look at antecedents. What are antecedents? The word or phrase to which a pronoun refers is called its antecedent. So antecedent, it is that word or phrase to which a pronoun refers in a sentence. Okay, a pronoun must agree with its antecedent in number, person, and gender. Okay, so you have to take care of this thing, that whatever pronoun we are using, it must agree in number. That is, if it is singular, the pronoun should also be singular. If it is plural, the pronoun should also be plural. Then it should agree with person. Like if we are using a male gender over there, the pronoun should be for the male gender which we use, that is he, his, him, right? If it is female, then the pronoun should be agreeing with it, that is she, her, right? And gender, again, that is masculine, feminine, neuter, and all gender. Fine, so you have to take care of this thing. Let's have a look at the examples. Bob was late to class, so he has to hurry. So now here, Bob is antecedent. Okay, this is the word for which we are using the pronoun he. So Bob is antecedent for which we have used the pronoun he over here. Let's have a look at another example. Michelle and Mickey made the pizza which they ate in dinner. Now here, Michelle and Mickey, these are antecedents for which we have used the pronoun they. So you have to take care of this thing, that we are using the correct pronoun, right? Like here, Bob is singular, so we have used pronoun he. But in the next sentence, Michelle and Mickey, we are talking about more than one, so it's plural. So we have used the pronoun they. So a singular pronoun replaces a singular noun, whereas a plural pronoun replaces a plural noun. That is again about number, that you have to use a singular pronoun with a singular noun and a plural pronoun with a plural noun. Now, how many types of pronouns are there? So now, right now here we are having 7 types of pronouns which we are going to study in this chapter. The first one is personal pronouns, then possessive pronouns, then reflexive and intensive pronouns, relative pronouns, demonstrative pronouns, interrogative pronouns, indefinite pronouns. So here we are going to study 7 types of pronouns. So let's begin with the first pronoun, which is personal pronouns. So what are personal pronouns? Personal pronouns are the words which are used in place of a noun, right? So before I tell you what are personal pronouns, let's see here, let's have a look at the table given over here, that as we have read earlier, that in pronouns there are 3 persons, right? First person is a person who is speaking, that is speaker. Right now here I am teaching you, so I am the speaker. Then second person is the one who is listening, that is listener, right? So here right now you are the one who is listening to me, so you are the listener. Then third person spoken about whom we are speaking, that person is known as the third person, right? So now here we are having singular and plural pronouns. When do we use them, right? With first person we use the pronouns I, me and mine in singular when we are talking about one, right? And then in first person in plural we use the pronouns we, us, ours. And then second person, whether it's singular or plural, we will use these two pronouns, you and yours. These two pronouns are used for singular also and for plural also. Now in case of third person, we use the following pronouns. In case of singular, he, him, his. These three pronouns are used for male. She, her, hers. These three pronouns are used for females. And it is used for things, or it can be used for animals as well. Now here the pronouns which are used for plural in case of third person are they, them and theirs. Now in personal pronouns we have subject and object. So now what is a subject in a sentence and what is an object in a sentence? Subject is the doer of the action, the one who is doing the action in a sentence, it is known as subject, and the one who is receiving the action, that is the receiver, right? So it is known as the object of the sentence. So now here subject comes before the verb in a sentence and object comes after the verb in a sentence. So the pronouns which are used for the subject are I, you, he, she, it in singular. In case of singular we are using these pronouns, but in case of plural in subject we use the pronouns we, you and they. Now in case of object which comes in a sentence after the verb, right, we use the following pronouns in singular: me, you, him, her, it. And in case of plural, with the object of this in the sentence we use the pronouns us, you and them in case of plural. Let's study the second type of pronoun now, which is possessive pronoun. Here we are going to study possessive pronoun also and possessive adjective also, right? So now possessive pronouns and possessive adjectives both are used to show that something belongs to a person, right? Basically possessive pronouns and possessive adjectives, they show possession, ownership, belonging. Now let's understand the difference between possessive adjective and possessive pronoun. As I told you that both are used to show the belonging, the ownership, right? What belongs to someone. Now here possessive adjective, it is used with a noun in a sentence. We use possessive adjective with a noun in a sentence. But possessive pronoun, it is used without a noun in a sentence, right? Now let's have a look at the following examples to make it more clear, right? Now these are the personal pronouns given over here. I is a personal pronoun. Now what is the personal adjective used for personal pronoun? I, it is my, right? So now we are saying this is my house. Now here you can see that we have used the possessive adjective my with noun house. As I told you that possessive adjective are used with a noun in a sentence. So we have used noun with possessive adjective. Now in case of possessive pronoun, it is mine. No, it's mine. So now here you can see that mine is possessive pronoun and we have not used noun with it, which I told you that they are used without a noun. So we have not used a noun over here in case of possessive pronoun. Now the second example, is this your bike? Now your is possessive adjective because it is used with the noun bike. But in case of possessive pronoun, no, it's yours. Yours is possessive pronoun and that we have used without any noun, right? The next example, this is his book. In this case, his is possessive adjective and it is used with the noun book. Yes, it's his. So his is possessive pronoun and that we have used without any noun. Now next one, her pullover is green. So now her is again the possessive adjective. It is used with the noun pullover. Now here, no, hers is brown. So hers is possessive pronoun and that we have used without a noun. So you have to keep this thing in your mind, that possessive adjectives are used with a noun in a sentence, but possessive pronouns are used without a noun in a sentence. Now we are going to study the third type of pronoun, which is reflexive and intensive pronoun. Now what are reflexive and intensive pronouns? Reflexive pronouns are used to express that someone is doing something on his or her own, right? Whenever someone is doing on their own, right, doing something on their own, it is known as reflexive pronoun, and it ends in self or selves. These reflexive pronouns always end with the word self or selves. They usually come after the verb in a sentence. Okay, so you have to keep this thing in your mind, that reflexive pronouns, they come usually after the verb in a sentence, usually in most of the cases. Now let's have a look at these examples. I have completed my work myself. Now see, we are having self, right, and self, I told you that in reflexive pronouns they end with self or selves. So self, himself, myself, yourself, ourselves, these all are reflexive pronouns. Now they usually come after the verb in a sentence. In this, the verb is completed and we have used reflexive pronoun after the verb in a sentence. The next one, Ben built a boat for himself. Now built is verb and we have used reflexive pronoun himself after the verb built, right? Now let's have a look at the given table. In this table, again we are having first person. First person is the speaker, second person is the listener, and the third person is to whom we are spoken about, right? In singular and plural, which pronouns we use in reflexive pronouns, right? In singular we use myself in case of first person. In case of second person we use yourself, and then in case of third person we use himself, herself, itself. You can see we are having self at the end in these pronouns. Now in case of plural, when we are talking about more than one, we are using the pronoun ourselves in case of first person, yourselves in case of second person, and in case of third person we are using the pronoun themselves. Now what are intensive pronouns? Intensive pronouns are very much similar to reflexive pronouns, right? They are used to add emphasis. Whenever we are giving stress to something, right, we are laying emphasis, we are emphasizing something, right, to the subject. That is known as intensive pronouns. It is right after the noun or pronoun, it's modifying, but not necessarily. So in some cases it is just after the noun or a pronoun in a sentence, but not always, right? Jennifer sewed her dress herself. Now here you can say that it is telling that she herself did this thing, right? So it is laying an emphasis that she sewed her dress herself, right? Now here Jordan made himself a sandwich. So now here also it's laying stress, it's laying emphasis that Jordan himself made a sandwich, right? So the major difference between reflexive and intensive pronouns are both are used to express what someone is doing, but in case of reflexive pronoun, right, both are ending with self, right, or selves, but the main thing is that it comes in reflexive, it comes after the verb in a sentence, but here it is right after the noun or pronoun, it's modifying, but not necessarily, right? It basically emphasizes something in a sentence. Now what are relative pronouns? Relative pronouns is the one which is used to refer to nouns or pronouns that has gone before it, right? Now here you have to call its antecedent, right, which is known as its antecedent. It is placed next to the subject it refers to. Now here next to the subject we are using the relative pronoun, right? Like an example, you can see the cyclist, right? The cyclist is the subject, we are using the relative pronoun after it only. That's what they are saying, that it is placed next to the subject. The cyclist who won the race trained hard. Okay, fine. So we are using the relative pronoun after the subject, right? Then relative pronouns can be used to join two sentences. We also use relative pronouns to join two sentences, right? Like here we have joined two sentences. This is the chocolate, that I want to eat. Now this is the chocolate is a separate sentence. I want to eat is a separate sentence. So we have joined it using the relative pronoun that, right? Now we are going to study the fifth type of pronoun, which is demonstrative pronoun. Along with the demonstrative pronoun, I'm going to explain you the demonstrative adjective also. Though they are same, but both are used in a different manner in a sentence. Now what are demonstrative pronouns? Demonstrative pronouns are used to point out something. Whenever we are pointing out something in a sentence, we use the demonstrative pronouns and they replace nouns in a sentence. Example, this, that. These are the demonstrative pronouns which are used for singular when we are talking about anything which is one in number. And these and those, they are the plural demonstrative pronouns. When we are talking about more than one, we use these demonstrative pronouns. Now in case of demonstrative adjective, they are used just before a noun in a sentence. They modify nouns or pronouns. So in both the cases, in this one we are pointing out at something and they are replacing the nouns. But in this case they are not replacing the nouns, they are used just before a noun in a sentence. Again they are same, this and that, they are used for singular, and these and those, they are used for plural in a sentence. So they are same, this, that, these, those, they are demonstrative pronouns also and demonstrative adjective also. But it totally depends upon the sentence how we have used it. Now let's have a look at the examples to make it more clear. Now this is a beautiful house. Now here this is demonstrative pronoun, right? We are using it for a noun, right? Now here this house is beautiful. Now here in demonstrative adjective this, you can see that the noun is placed next to the adjective this. That is Amy's car. Now it is pronoun, right? We have used it in place of a noun. That car is Amy's. Now here that is demonstrative adjective. We have used it before the noun car. These are his shoes. Now we are pointing out, right here we are pointing out that these are his shoes. These shoes are his. Now here shoes is a noun and we have used demonstrative adjective these before the noun shoes. Those are great books. Again we are pointing out at the books and we are saying that those are great books. Those books are great. Now here books is a noun and we have used demonstrative adjective those before it. So now I hope it's clear to you what are demonstrative pronouns and what are demonstrative adjectives. They are pointing out, right? And they are used just before a noun in a sentence. Now what are interrogative pronouns? Interrogative pronouns, as you know, interrogative are the one in which we are asking the questions. Okay, so they are also the one which are used to ask questions. There are 5 interrogative pronouns: who, whom, whose, what and which, right? So these are the interrogative pronouns. Now for what purpose we are using it? Let's read it. What is used for people or objects? We use what interrogative pronoun for people or objects. What do you want for dinner? Now which is used for people or objects? Again which is also used for people or objects. Which color do you prefer, right? So now it is used for color over here. Who, it is used for people in a sentence. Who was driving the car? Now we are asking who was driving the car. It is a person only, right? Now whom is again used for people in a sentence. Whom do you live with? Again it is asking the name of the person, right? Whose is used for people, objects, always related to possession. It shows the ownership. Whose sweater is this? Now here you can see that it is showing possession, that the sweater belongs to whom, right? So these are basically the pronouns which are used to ask the questions, and they are 5: who, whom, whose, what and which. Now we are going to study the last type of pronoun which is indefinite pronouns. Now what are indefinite pronouns? These are the pronouns which are used to refer to one or more unspecified, the one which is not mentioned, which is not specified, objects, beings or places. They are called indefinite. Why do we call them indefinite? Because they do not indicate the exact number, the exact object, being or place to which they refer. So it is not clear, right? We are talking about how many over there. They do not have antecedents, right? Just keep this thing in your mind that in indefinite pronouns they do not have antecedents. Some indefinite pronouns are all, another, any, anybody, anyone, anything, each, everybody, everyone, everything, few, many, nobody, none, one, several, some, somebody, someone. So these are some of the indefinite pronouns. So now let's make it more clear by having a look at the examples. Now here the first example is for the indefinite pronoun anybody or anyone. Now it means no matter what person. Now we don't know about whom we are talking, right? Can anyone answer this question? So now we are asking that can anyone answer this question, but we are not sure. It is the person is not specified, right? So that's why it is indefinite pronoun. Next is anything. Anything means no matter what thing, right? Anything means kuch bhi, right? So the doctor needs to know if you have eaten anything in the last 2 hours. So again, it's not specified that what we are talking about, right? So it is again indefinite pronoun. The next one is each. Now each pronoun, indefinite pronoun, it is used for every one of 2 or more people or things seen separately. Now here each has his own thoughts, right? So now it's talking about 1 or 2, or it's like more than 2 people, right? Now here the pronouns which are used in plural are, there are a number of pronouns which are used in singular and plural. I have just given some of them. The remaining you will get in the synopsis. Now both, it is used for 2 people or things which are seen together. John likes coffee but not tea. I think both are good. Now here we are talking about 2, that is coffee and tea. Now few. Few is the pronoun which means a small number of people or things. Few have ever disobeyed them and lived. So now here we are talking about a small number of people, but it's not clear, right? So that's why it's unspecified. Now several. Several means more than 2 but not many. So here whenever we are talking about more than 2, we use the pronoun several. They all complained and several left the meeting. Now how many? Again it's not indicate. It is, though it is indicated, but it is not specified. So indefinite pronouns are those pronouns which are in which it is not specified clearly, right? It's unspecified. Now I hope this chapter is clear to you. We'll be providing with the synopsis also. Have a look at it and go through it very clearly and solve the book exercises in the book itself. This complete chapter is to be solved in the book only.